Hi, GPT.
Hi there, how's it going?
As I'm on my period, I don't feel well today, but I'm okay. I feel better than yesterday.
I'm sorry you're not feeling your best, but it's good to hear you're doing better than yesterday. Do you usually do something specific to feel more comfortable during this time?
Yeah, I drink some medicines for prevent my stomach ache.
That sounds like a smart way to manage it. Maybe some warm drinks or a heating pad could also help. Do you usually find time to rest when you're not feeling well?
Yes, but a little bit. And as to drink some medicines, I don't have.
I see what you mean. You could say yes, but just a little bit. And like you mentioned, I also take some medicine. It flows more naturally. Does that make sense?
Add to this, I don't have limit for the 食べる量に食べ物を我慢し食べたいものを我慢しないって英語でなんていうの？我慢しないって。
英語ではこう言えます。I have to control the amount I eat, and I can't eat everything I want. もう少し自然に言うなら、I need to watch how much I eat, so I can't just eat whatever I want. とも表現できます。どちらがしっくりきますか？
I eat whatever I wanna eat when I'm on my period.
That sounds perfectly fine. You could also say, I eat whatever I want when I'm on my period. Both are natural and express the same idea. Treating yourself is important during this time.
Yes. And I make a
問題が発生しています。お話の内容を理解できませんでした。
I make an effort to not to feel stress.
That's a great sentence. It's clear and natural. You could also say, I try my best to avoid feeling stressed, for a slightly more conversational tone. Do you have any go-to methods for staying stress-free?
I didn't get the question. Could you repeat again?
問題が発生しています。お話の内容を理解できませんでした。
I couldn't catch what you say. So could you repeat the question again?
Sure. I asked if you have any specific ways or methods to stay stress-free. For example, do you relax, exercise, or do something fun?
Yeah. I eating and sleeping well, and I and do not work out.
That sounds like a good way to take care of yourself. Eating and sleeping well are so important. Do you ever feel like you'd want to start working out, or is it just not your thing?
I couldn't catch your question. Could you repeat again?
Of course. I asked if you ever feel like starting to work out, or if it's just something you're not interested in.
No, I like workout, but the stomach ache is too heavy, so I cannot work out.
I see, that makes sense. It can be tough to work out when you're dealing with a stomachache. Once you're feeling better, you'll probably get back into it. Do you have a favorite type of workout when you're feeling good? You're welcome. Take care.
Yes, I like to walk, take a walk. 散歩するって。
What word do you like?
I like to take a walk.
That sounds nice. Walking can be really refreshing. Do you have a favorite place to walk, or do you enjoy exploring new spots?
I usually take a walk on running machine at gym, but
That's a great way to get some exercise, especially if the weather isn't ideal for outdoor walks. Do you prefer a slow pace, or do you challenge yourself with a faster walk or even a jog?
I walk faster than I usually walk.
It sounds like you're pushing yourself a bit harder, which is great. Do you find it helps you feel better afterward, or is it more about building endurance for you?
Yes, I feel better. And when I walk in on the running machine, I always read book. So I feel there is a lot of merit for taking a walk on the gym.
That sounds like a really productive routine. Walking on the machine while reading books is a smart way to make the most of your time. Do you read certain types of books during your workout? Or is it anything that catches your interest?
Yes, anything I catch the interesting.
That's a great approach. Keeps things interesting and fresh. Do you ever come across any books that end up inspiring new ideas or thoughts for you?
Yes, for example, I read this book. This book is
It sounds like you're about to share something. Could you explain what you mean by, I'll let this play?
yeah. I read a book about quantum mechanics. It was so interesting.
That sounds fascinating. Quantum mechanics can be really mind-bending, but also very rewarding to learn about. What part of the book did you find the most interesting?
The history of 発展していく過程。量子力学
It seems like you found the history of how quantum mechanics developed really interesting. The way it evolved over time, from early discoveries to more recent advancements, can be quite a journey. What part of its development stood out to you the most?
Yeah, first of all, I surprised that how to find out the quantum, the way to find out the quantum.
問題が発生しています。お話の内容を理解できませんでした。
It was so surprised that the person who find out quantum.
It's always surprising to learn about the people behind big discoveries. Was there a particular scientist or moment that really caught your attention? Maybe someone like Schrödinger or Heisenberg?
The first person who find out quantum is Max Planck. He find out quantum because he wanna find out the relationship between the color of light and the temperature of things.
Yes, you're absolutely right. Max Planck is often considered the father of quantum theory. He discovered that energy is emitted in discrete units, or quanta, while studying blackbody radiation. His work was groundbreaking because it challenged the classical view of energy as a continuous flow. It's fascinating how his curiosity about light and temperature led to the birth of quantum mechanics. Did you find any other aspects of his theory particularly intriguing?
Yes, and he wanna find out the he 鉄の鉄高温の鉄から出る光を見たときにその関係性を明らかにしようとしたって、なんていうの？で、
その場は、when he observed the light emitted by hot iron, he tried to clarify the relationship between them という表現が適切です。Planck wanted to understand the relationship between the color of the light and the temperature of the object.
Hot iron turned to red made him feel curiosity.
あなたが言いたいことは、the hot iron turning red made him feel a strange sensation のような表現です。Planck must have been intrigued by how the color of the emitted light changed with temperature, which led him to explore the underlying principles. Does this capture what you wanted to express?
Isn't it so surprise?
I see what you're asking. It sounds like you're wondering if supplies could fit in this context. Actually, the word supplies refers to materials or resources, like tools or items needed for a task. In your sentence, though, you're talking about Planck's reaction to the light, so strange sensation or feeling would be a better fit rather than supplies. Would you like to rephrase that thought together?
びっくりじゃないって英語でなんて言うの？
びっくりじゃないは英語で Isn't it surprising? または Isn't that surprising? もっとカジュアルに言うなら Isn't that crazy? とも言えることがありますよ。
Isn't it surprising?
Yes, exactly. Isn't it surprising? Works perfectly. It conveys that sense of being amazed or shocked by something. What was it about Planck's discovery that you found most surprising?
I love seeing the hot iron turning red because it is so beautiful. But Max Planck viewed the same scene, but he saw that he wondered the relationship between the color of light and temperature of things. So it is very surprising for me that the differences of view between me and him.
That's a great observation. It's fascinating how the same scene can evoke such different reactions. While you see beauty in the red glow of hot iron, Planck saw a puzzle that would change science forever. His curiosity led to discoveries that shaped the foundation of quantum mechanics. The contrast between the two views really highlights how different perspectives can lead to unexpected breakthroughs. It's amazing to think about, right?
Yes.
It really is. The way curiosity can turn something ordinary into a groundbreaking discovery is so inspiring. Do you find yourself looking at everyday things in a different way after reading about Planck's insights?
Could you repeat the question again?
Sure. I asked if, after reading about Planck's insights, you find yourself looking at everyday things in a different way.
No, because I am not good at mathematics. So if I have curiosity about the relationship between something and something, I I cannot solve the relation, so I'm not have different side.
I understand. It can be tough when curiosity leads to questions that are difficult to solve without a deep understanding of mathematics. But even without solving all the equations, being curious about the relationships between things can still lead to interesting discoveries and ideas. Do you enjoy exploring those curiosities in other ways, maybe through reading or thinking deeply about them?
Yes, I like to know new things, and I like to 原理を知るのが好きだし、原理を知るのが好きって英語でなんていうの？原理ってなんだ？プリンシパルか。I wanna
原理を英語で言うと principle です。なので、アナが言いたいことは I like to know the principles になります。原理を知るのが好きという表現は英語ではこう言えます。I enjoy learning about the principles. または I like to understand the principles. 原理というのは物事の基本的な法則や根本的な仕組みのことです。例えば化学の原理や物理の基本法則などです。
I enjoy learning about principles. So I like to so if I learn something, at first I wanna know the principle.
That's a great way to approach learning. Understanding the principles first gives you a solid foundation. Your sentence sounds good. You could also say, I enjoy learning about principles, so whenever I learn something, I want to understand the principle behind it first. This makes it sound even more natural. Does that feel right?
Yes, thank you. And it was so surprising that the Einstein found out the quantum, and he said that the quantum is wave have the two characteristics. First is the quantum is wave. The second thing is quantum is 粒子。粒子って英語でなんて言うんだっけ？
You're welcome, and you're on the right track. To clarify your thought, you could say, it was so surprising that Einstein discovered quantum theory, and he said that quantum has two characteristics. The first is that quantum behaves like a wave. The second is that quantum also behaves like a particle. This is what Einstein's theory of wave-particle duality describes, the idea that light and other quantum objects can act as both waves and particles, depending on how they are observed. Does that help?
Yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm glad it helped. Feel free to ask anything else if you're curious about more.
And he found out this when he was 26 years old. Isn't it surprising?
Yes, it is absolutely surprising. Einstein made such a groundbreaking discovery at just 26 years old, which is incredibly young for such a major scientific achievement. It really shows how extraordinary his mind was. What do you think inspired him to make such an early contribution to quantum theory?
I feel he is genius.
He truly was a genius. His ability to think outside the box and make connections that others missed is remarkable. It's inspiring to think about how much one person can impact the world, especially at such a young age. What part of his discoveries do you find most fascinating?
he had a different insight. マックス・ブランクとはまた異なる視点から、こう量子について捉えたって英語でなんていうの？
You're saying that Einstein approached the concept from a different perspective than Max Planck, right? To put that into English, you could say, Einstein viewed the concept from a different perspective than Max Planck. Einstein of quantum theory, especially his work on the photoelectric effect, focused on the particle-like behavior of light, whereas Planck had a more wave-oriented perspective when he started with blackbody radiation. It's interesting how they both contributed to the same field, but from different angles.
Could you repeat the phrase again?
Of course. The phrase is, Einstein viewed the concept from a different perspective than Max Planck. Does that sound good?
Yes. So,
Great. I'm glad it works for you. Let me know if you'd like to talk more about it or anything else.
yeah. And I am learning about quantum more deeply, and I keep learning about this. So,
That's awesome. It's exciting that you're diving deeper into quantum mechanics. The more you learn, the more fascinating it becomes. How do you find studying it so far? Do you have a particular part of quantum mechanics that you're most interested in exploring next?
yes, I want to know the principle of quantum computers, and for stocks, I wonder what kind of stocks I should buy. So I am learning about this.
That's a great combination of interests. Quantum computers could really revolutionize various industries, including stock market analysis, by processing information much faster than classical computers. Are you looking for stocks related to quantum computing companies, or are you interested in how quantum computing might affect the stock market in general?
Could you repeat the question again?
Sure. I asked if you're looking for stocks related to quantum computing companies, or if you're more interested in how quantum computing might impact the stock market overall.
で、前者って英語でなんて言うんだっけ？フォーマーか。The former is
前者は英語で company-wide、または corporation-wide と言います。これは企業全体に関することを指します。例えば、全社ミーティングは company-wide meeting と表現できます。
Thank you. So it was so great time for me today, and I am excited to talk with you tomorrow about the same topic on quantum mechanics. So let's keep in touch and sleep well.
I'm glad you had a great time today. I'm excited to continue our conversation about quantum mechanics tomorrow. Rest well, and I look forward to talking more.
Good night.